Yeah, I'll always be a metalhead. Nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
I mean, not jail, not people, not religion, not anything. I'll always be a metalhead, 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 all right.
You're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome back, metalheads, to another episode of the Great Metal Debate Podcast. It's your man Xander again, back with another album review. Today, we will be looking at the brand new album from the melodic funeral doom metal band from Athens, Greece, called Ocean of Grief, with their second studio release titled Pale Existence. We are still very early in the year, and I'm already calling this one of the most beautiful pieces of music put out so far. 2023 has been full of wonderful surprises, and this one is no exception. Some of my most favorite melodic death metal bands include Agalloch and Be'lakor, while my favorite funeral doom metal bands include Ahab, which I just recently talked about, and Shape of Despair. Ocean of Grief seems to take inspiration from all four of those bands to make, dare I say, the perfect record. They have taken the best of all of those elements and combined their sounds to make an absolutely flawless music listening experience. There is an immediate sense of euphoria that you feel within the first minute of this record before it picks up with a calming electric guitar melody. It briefly plunges into a soothing acoustic section, and then the slow bellowing of vocals creep in. This song is called Poetry for the Dead, and the middle guitar riff only further complements the band's playing style. The vocals have a monstrous sound that provide listeners with that tingly feeling under the skin in a relaxing sort of way. The drums toward the end of the song have a somewhat tribal vibe that is short-lived but grants a smooth transition into the next track, which is titled Dale of Haunted Shades. This one only puts listeners into a deeper meditative state as it has some pitch harmonic guitar notes, which can be best described as hypnotic. The vocals alone are deep and slow enough to make anyone laying down feel drowsy. But if you have earbuds in and are walking alone on a nature trail early in the morning with heavy fog, you might become one with Mother Earth, or at the very least, witness a ghost of a stag between the distant trees. Unspoken actions will guide you through your own imagination of a cold winter stroll, or even a misty one through the forest. There is even an audible bass line in the middle of the song. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a sucker for sweet bass playing. Normally, I credit each band member by name, but I already know that I will fail miserably attempting to pronounce the guys' names correctly, so I apologize for not even trying. But then we have the song titled Imprisoned Between Worlds, which has some high-note finger tapping on the frets. It makes for a more upbeat moment in the depressing atmosphere of this album thus far. Cryptic Consolations is a song that only further reminds me of the band that I personally strive to be in one day. This one also has an incredibly groovy solo in it too. Pale Wisdom is no different from the rest of the songs on this album in terms of being very impactful. It's every bit as enjoyable as everything we have heard along the way. This entire album is a soul-searching musical journey through the proverbial wilderness. Of course, just when I thought the bass solo from earlier couldn't get any better, I hear the one near this track's conclusion. Last but certainly not least, we get the final song on the record titled Undeserving. Its winding guitar intro is a solid lead into more of those haunting harsh vocals that I enjoy so much. The riff in this one is melodic and catchy, and it appears as though they have saved their best for last. This one is an epic conclusion to my favorite album of the year so far. Initially, I was planning on granting the album the coveted 10 out of 10 rating, but after listening to this record front to back a third and fourth time, I realized I wasn't completely being honest with myself. While I do believe this piece of music is truly immaculate, I have to say that most of the tracks just sort of tie themselves together in a way that makes the songs sound way too similar. Unless I were to spend the entire rest of the month analyzing every single note played and memorize some of the lyrics, I wouldn't be able to tell the name of the song if I walked in on it halfway. Also, the band has a keyboard player as their main lineup, but it was difficult to hear over the other music. The keys didn't quite stand out in the mix. Perhaps on the next album we can get some more audible symphonic elements. You can bet your ass I'll be supporting this band every way that I can, and I will definitely be buying their merch from their Bandcamp. Their Pale Existence shirt might be calling my name, but as it currently stands, I'm going to give Ocean of Grief's sophomore album an 8.5 out of 10. Feel free to show your support for these guys by listening to their music on all streaming platforms.